Hi, I'm Lee Fisher. I'm the new president of Baldwin-Wallace University, or we call it BW, and I'm here to answer the questions that you sent to us on social media. What was my first job during college? Oh, I remember very well. I guess you could say I was an Uber driver before there was even Uber, because I used to drive students to the airport, $3 a ride, pretty good deal. It took about, an hour and 10 minutes from the campus to the airport. What is my favorite sport? Well, I love watching all sports. I love watching basketball, football, baseball, and in fact, I played some of those sports. But I gotta be honest, my favorite sport? Frisbee. I played Frisbee in college, and you'll see me with the Frisbee on the campus a lot of the times. Okay, so you've asked me among the 4 different quarterbacks who are vying to be starting quarterback for the Browns, who do I think is gonna start? Actually, I think it should be Joe Flacco. Joe already has a proven record. He's a good guy. He's already been in the Super Bowl. Let's start with Joe. What's my favorite thing or place about BW so far? Well, that's actually pretty easy. It was the cafeteria in the Student Union because I spent an entire afternoon having lunch talking to students. It was actually my favorite day at BW, and it led me to believe I got to do this more often. So you're going to see me in the cafeteria a lot, and I won't be just talking. I'll be eating too. What is my favorite Mitchell's order? Well, first of all, I love Mitchell's ice cream, and I happen to know the brothers who own Mitchell's, and I want to give a shout out to them. Pete and Mike are great friends of Peggy's and mine. Now, what are my favorite ones? Mint chocolate chip and coffee, tied for first. Did I carpool with students? Yeah, I did. I carpooled with some BW students a few months ago, even before I was president. I was going to Ovation, I had a great time, and I realized I didn't have a ride back to Bonds, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't know how to get back to Bonds. It was actually one of my favorite moments at BW. These students were great, and we had a great time. What is the best Halloween costume I've ever worn? I'd say it was Indiana Jones because it's pretty simple, and I'm not wild about getting into fancy costumes. I just sort of like the hat, the khaki shirt, and the whip. What's the most memorable trip I've ever had? Growing up, every summer, we went from Cleveland to a little town called New Philadelphia to see my grandparents. Those days and those trips I'll never forget. How am I planning to connect with students at BW? Well, here's some ideas. Lunch with Lee, Frisbee with Fisher, pizza with the Prez. I want to be with students as often as I can, have as much fun as I can, and get to know them as much as I can. And I want to thank all of you for asking me these questions. In fact, I hope we can do this more often because this was a lot of fun.